All right. So, as far as today goes, December 11th, the Supreme Court will not hear the latest argument from, I guess it is, Texas and other states trying to sue the other places about what they believe to be improper or fraudulent elections. I don't know, but just saying who is going to tell the truth in 2021. And we won't know, like I guess there are still court cases to be heard. And everything seems to be up in the air. But who will tell the truth in 2021? Who will be brave enough to tell the truth when both parties lie? I will give you, for me, one of the biggest examples of both. Well, I mean, the Republicans lying was when they started in on Biden's crime bill. Now, it may not have been a lie, but it wasn't detailed. And the fact is, it had bipartisan support. And from my understanding, there were Republicans who didn't support it because it didn't go hard enough on crime. And there are studies that show that the crime bill, the 1994 crime bill, was effective. People want safe streets. Now, I haven't really read up on all of the provisions on the crime bill, but some of the stuff that they had there, that Trump was stating he was kind of trying to appeal to the left to a degree, even to the woke left. And I'm not sure how honest that is. I think people want individuals to be tough on criminals, particularly criminals that are repeat offenders.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Joe is here. So Joe is here. This is Who Will Tell the Truth in 2021. And Andy Bowen is here for honesty. And we should all be here, Joe, for honesty and truth. And if you're looking for a party,
how about knowledge? I'm going to throw knowledge into the equation as well.
You know what? And if I had it to do over again, Joe, I would call this Who Has the Knowledge in 2021.
Yes.
Because if you look at things now, both parties lie.
Yes.
Both are dishonest.
No doubt.
And both have, both give in to big business, and they give in to the masses, which are asses.
Well, it proves it more. I mean, maybe not proves it, because people who know that United States is a corporation, and these are basically, our presidents are nothing more than a CEO at the head of a board, and this is how it's run.
No, I mean, like I said, and where's your better bet? I mean, the truth is, for me, what did it for me was the fact that the left is far more likely to initiate force and against freedom of expression.
Was there ever a point in your life when you woke up and told yourself, you know, even if I studied from
You broke
died,
up,
I'll
Joe. Joe, you're breaking up, man. You're breaking up on me, Joe.
yeah,
You were breaking up.
I'm
You were
here.
saying basically, if I studied, I forget what you were saying. If I studied this or I studied that.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, mute yourself when I'm talking then. Okay. What I was saying is that um oh, I forgot where I left off. Forget it.
I'll say this, and don't this
Oh yeah,
Tim Hayes.
yeah. Did you ever wake up? Did you ever wake up to the fact? Did you ever have a moment in your life where you woke up to the fact and said, even if I study,
You're Patriot Gregging again, Joe. When you get right into the middle of study, then you begin to Patriot Greg.
ah, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't know why, but
I'll come back in. Keep it going. I'll be right back.
I'm going to keep it going in. So yeah, so Tim Hayes says, "Don't trust Biden or Obama. I think they're full of you. You know what? I'm not going to say the word. You can probably read it, but I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know who's going to win. I don't know if how well the court cases are going to do. But one side is more likely to be violent and initiate force, and those are people that support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And the left really doesn't support Joe Biden; he's a useful idiot to them. But they do support violence, and they support if you defend yourself against the violent mob, you get in trouble. And that is a big problem for me because I believe that the two things I believe in most are the First and the Second Amendment. And when those things are messed with, that is a huge problem for me. And the fact of the matter is, you would think in a time in the internet that we would I mean, people are talking about the 1994 crime bill and not going into detail about the 1994 crime bill. And I'm not going to, I mean, I've read over it and stuff and I've skimmed over it. And yes, and then one angry Jew has said this show sucks monkey balls, and Joe may be on later to say how to come on and you can talk to him on Skype, Howard. But I can't help that my show is not up to your standards. But the Supreme Court rejected the Texas lawsuit, and who knows whether they have spine or not, whether they're doing, I'm at a point where I don't know what's going to happen. Were there irregularities? How bad were those irregularities? Will the Democrats win the Senate? Will we be able to stop them from winning the Senate or cheating at least? Will the Republicans be able to put up a fight? There's the whole Hunter Biden thing right now that's happening, and the media has tried to cover that up because they were in for Mr. Biden. They were in for the former vice president, and they showed, but the mainstream media had more bias than anything I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Okay, round two. Can you hear me now?
Round two. And we have one angry Jew. I hope you're on Skype, Joe, and maybe Howard can give us a call, and he can give us some details, our thoughts on his mind on
I
what.
would rather have a show that sucks small monkey balls than to sit there in a room alone on your computer talking to nobody. All right? I much prefer having the option to get on here and talking to people.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we want to do. We're going to probably have more guests on our show,
Yeah.
and we will be talking to a great number of people about ideas. And
I've worked out a deal with one person I've had my sights on. She has agreed to come on the show with us and do an hour. So that'll be coming up shortly. I don't know what day, but in the near future, you're going to want to listen to that. It's going to be eye-opening and different. So check it out. More to come. But I was saying, did you ever have a moment in your life that you woke up to the reality that the legal system was something you'd never fully understand?
more than, yeah, I mean, the one thing I know, and the one thing I know about the legal system is when you go into a courtroom, it's a courtroom of law. It's not a courtroom of justice or fairness. It is a courtroom of law. It's a court of law.
Brian, not only is it a courtroom of law, it is a courtroom of war. And you better believe that you every time you step into court, you are going to war. And I can show why and why I say that. And all you have to do is kind of look into it. But this is what I've come to learn about the law. It's not just it's not always you know, and what anything. What did they say about love and war? All's fair in love and war.
And that's true. Well, I mean, when you go to a courtroom, yeah, you're going to a war. I mean, in politics, it's war because they make the laws. It's war, because they're enforcing laws on you, and there are winners and losers in this game, and losers get upset.
Look who we have. Oh, can you hear it?
Yes, I can.
I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this caller. Hello, caller. You're on with Brian and Joe.
Oh, please expand on this courtroom of war. Tell us all about it.
What else do you need to know, man? You have the comment.
No, you're not being clear. You're not being clear. I know what you're trying to talk about. Tell us all about the courtroom of war.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead and explain it.
It's not a courtroom of a court of the United States of America, is
it? Not exactly.
So when you walk into a courtroom, what are you walking into?
Go on.
Not what you think. Oh, go on. So I just want to know if you know, because you say it's a courtroom of war. So what flag is flying in that courtroom? Telling you what you're walking into.
I think you've echoed this before, though, right? When we get into the flags.
I've talked about this many times because I know all about it.
Well, tell us about it then. Go ahead. That's why you called. You're here to educate.
It's not the flag of peace. It's not the flag of the United States of America. It's not the flag that's in Title IV of the U.S. Code. The flag is very accurately described in Title IV, and that's not the flag you'll see flying in a courtroom. So you're going to enter into a courtroom and you think you're entering into a state court or a United States court. You're not entering into either of those things. You are going into something else. You don't have rights. You don't walk into a courtroom that acknowledges your rights. You're walking into a military courtroom.
Okay, and what got us there?
Well, I'm not sure what got us there.
Well, there were several lawsuits and acts that happened I'm trying to do a timeline. I want to do a timeline and talk about these things, like where to start. If you go to court and you want to bring up a precedent, do you know how far back you can use precedents from the legal system?
No.
It's not that long. It's I don't know exactly. It's from, I think you can't go beyond like 1936 or something like that. But there is a limit on how far back you can use cases.
1936. Well, you're talking about when they declared a national emergency and when the Constitution was suspended. Is that what you're referring to?
That might be it, but I'm not even positive. I mean, I know 1933 was kind of a big year as far as ownership and trustees go, and then 1935 had another big act, but there were a bunch of lawsuits too. That
So before we get into a history thing about the courts, can we ask? Darren wants to ask Howard what he thinks will happen. The court has ruled against the Texas lawsuit. What do you think is going to happen next, Howard?
I think that the only solution to any of this is that the states, if they have any balls, which they don't, not even small monkey balls, is that the states will have to send their own electors to vote Trump in and Biden out. That's their only choice.
How can they do that?
They're not going to. Well, they do that because the Constitution allows them to do that. Of course, one could argue that the Constitution is suspended, which is what I just said. So, kind of don't know exactly what's right and what's wrong because you really don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what these states are going by. And I'm going to tell you right now that all of those assholes in Congress, every single one of them, is illegitimate. That is not the United States Congress. It's not the Senate. They left sine die in the time of Lincoln. And that means they left and they dissolved the body. So what you see there now, that's not what's in the Constitution. So all bets are off. You think you know what's going on, but you really don't because it's all an illusion.
Oh, exactly. I think that's where I'm going. It's all an illusion.
Well, when you walk into a courtroom, when you're flying a gold-fringed flag, you think that you're walking into a place where you have rights. And they may pretend and pretend like you have rights, but then they're going to run right over you and destroy you.
And there's
nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do.
If you walk into that courtroom, it's like walking onto a ship. So you board a ship at the dock, wherever it is. You're not in the United States anymore. You're somewhere else. Go murder somebody on a Swedish flag ship and see where you're tried.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely not a place to go if you don't know your words. If you don't know them, don't try it.
No, it's not a place you want to go in the first place. Because
never. No, you don't want jurisdiction. You don't want.
It's like walking into a place where it's like walking into a country where you think you know the language. You don't know the language when you walk into a courtroom.
No, you don't. I agree 100%.
If you start agreeing with me all the time, that's I don't know how anybody.
Well, no, I don't agree with most of things you say, but it's true. And I'm trying to. I think because that's one of the most important points there is. Right then and there, if you know the English that you're speaking is not the language that they're speaking when you go in to face the magistrate, to me that's a win. If everybody knows that. And people don't understand why they need attorneys. It's like they don't get the concept that getting an attorney is like what a sign of weakness. if you're going to be in court at all. I'm just saying. It's not a place I
Well,
want
of
to be.
course, it's a sign of weakness because you become a ward of the court. You're considered to be a ward of the court if you have an attorney.
Right.
You have an attorney because you're incompetent.
Brian, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, good.
He's probably eating ice cream and just going into a mild depressive state.
I had 2 fat burgers today. I was close to 2 days fasting. I fasted for a day, Howard, which is probably 1,000 times better than what you have done. Thank you.
Do you know why they call
no idea what I've done. I'm going to have a nice Australian steak for lunch.
Oh, nice.
Oh man,
So,
Thai steak sucks. Thai steak sucks, but Australian steak is really good.
but is Thai steak still better than what you get here in America in the markets?
No.
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 Oh, wow.
They don't age their beef. They don't know. They don't have a clue how to make a good steak. That's why you gotta get imported meat. The meat that comes from America is really expensive. But this particular steak, I got buy one get one, so I filled my freezer with it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice and tender. And is that making you hungry, Brian?
And about
I've already eaten.
how much would in American dollars are you paying for that steak then? Just curious.
It's a 250-gram steak. It is a sirloin steak, vintage beef. It's from Australia, and it's roughly about $5.
What?
Normally
That's so
$10.
great. Wow.
Normally $10.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Well, $10 is I don't know. $10 is probably. I would think it. How much would you pay for a 250-gram steak?
Now, I don't know exactly because I'm. What is that? About a half a pound? No, that's got to be. About a half a pound.
Yeah, it's half a pound.
Yeah, that sounds like $10. Okay, that makes sense.
Right, so $5 for that particular cut of meat is a fucking deal. Buy one, get one.
Right. That's a good deal.
Well, I'm a Jew. I'm always looking for good deals.
Yeah, but you're not eating a lot of steak, are you? That's good. Just enough.
Well, I got a freezer full of it.
Brian probably eats a 2-pound steak every time.
I could, but we're talking about who tells it. Hold on, who tells the truth in 2020?
Smothered in potatoes and lumpy gravy.
And sugar.
There we go.
And sugar. No, the mashed potatoes and the lumpy gravy.
Yeah.
How do you think they make the lumpy gravy? They put a lot of flour in there.
Sugar.
Have you ever had good Italian gravy? Do you even know what that is, Howard? When they say making gravy,
I know what. I'm from Philadelphia. I know what good gravy is.
manja. Well, in Pittsburgh they made pretty good gravy too, but it's too damn cold there. I don't like the snow.
There's a place near me that sells a Philadelphia burger now. I'm not sure what it is. I got to go try it.
I have no idea what a Philadelphia burger is.
I
If you
don't
said
either.
to me Philadelphia cheese,
No, Philly
I would tell
burger.
you I know what it is.
A Philly burger. I'm not sure what that is either at all. I got to go see.
But Italian gravy. All right.
Yes.
I could just with no spaghetti with no pasta. I could just have the gravy. But it's tasty.
Why don't you just make meatballs and gravy?
I can see him with a ladle, just ladling it into his mouth.
Manja. So I was gonna say about real estate. You know, when my parents bought their first home in 1976, they made a combined income of $56,000. I mean, they made a combined income of $30,000, and their home was $56,000. And that home today would sell for over $1.5 million, $1.4 million. 40 years later.
Well, the home did sell for $1 million. I checked it out online. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, okay. But if that's the case, what made the price from 1976 to 2017 go up so high?
Inflation.
What caused the inflation?
Fake money.
Mismanagement of the government, mismanagement of the economy, mismanagement of everything.
Printers making a lot of money.
Does
Yes.
the government exacerbate inflation and make it worse?
Yes, of course they do. The government. It's the Federal Reserve, which is not the government.
They just signed a $74 billion bill for the military. And where do you think that money is going to come from? They're going to freaking make it. They're going to print it. They don't have that money.
Right.
So there you go. There's $74 billion right into the ether.
So when someone says, I got to make money, the truth is money's already been made. You got to get the money.
Unless you're a bank. Sure.
Yeah. And how can
you have the resources to be a bank?
Yeah. And I don't know. Like, I wonder when the dollar is going to go like where, like are we ever going to have the kind of superinflation that we did in Germany before,
Don't know. They've been calling for that for 20 years. It hasn't happened yet.
No,
it will.
Yeah, something's going to give.
What do you think's going to happen if Biden gets in there?
He's not.
Dirty fucker.
He won't get in.
I don't know about that. At this point, I don't know. I don't want to even say what I'm leaning towards, but they just lost this one. I don't know what the next step is going to be, but it doesn't seem good, and it's hard to gain. You're
not dealing with what you think you are. You're not dealing with a system. So when the Supreme Court today or yesterday rejected the Texas lawsuit, how is the Supreme Court sitting? Were they sitting in front of a fringe flag or a non-fringe flag? Because they've been known to do both.
What would be the relevance of that?
Supreme Court.
What would be the relevance of that?
Well, one would be a flag of the United States, which means that the Supreme Court was sitting as a constitutional Article 3 court, or they're sitting as something else, an Article 2 court. So when you go into a court in America, a federal court, are you walking into a district court of the United States or a United States district court? And if you think that those two things are the same, I'm going to tell you they're not.
Okay, so if you're going to a inferior court, you're going to a U.S. district court.
No. It's not an inferior court. One is a constitutional Article 3 court. The other is an Article 2 court created by Congress.
Okay. And at the lower levels, you go to a U.S. district court.
No, you're missing the point. There is a district court of the United States or a United States district court. It's not the same court.
I just answered that.
Level, it's not the same court.
If you go to a superior court, you're going to a U.S. district court. Now, if you're going to a Supreme Court, then you're going to what is that?
The question comes down to: are you walking into an Article 3 court or an Article 2 court? Did you walk into a court that was created by the Constitution, or did you walk into a court that was created by Congress?
Well, are you a Union State citizen? Then you would be going to an Article 3 court.
No. What is a Union State citizen? I've never heard of such a thing.
Someone who's born in the Union.
I mean, someone who was born in one of the several states?
Yes, one of the first 13 states.
Okay.
So that would be a union state citizen.
Well, I've never heard the term union applied
It's the
to
same thing. It's the same thing.
this. I didn't hear that. I never heard the word union applied to being a state citizen.
That's what it is. Article 3.
Okay, so when you returned to the United States from Korea, did you check off the box that said you were a United States citizen?
Gosh, I don't even know, but probably.
Okay, I don't.
That's awesome.
I cross out United States citizen and I put citizen, a Pennsylvania Commonwealth citizen.
That's great. But did you change your status?
No, I just don't admit that I'm a United States citizen.
But haven't you already? Unless you've never filed a tax return. Have you ever filed a tax return?
In America, or in
America,
United States?
When you were here in your home, where you lived, in the state where you lived.
Yes.
Okay.
But what are you filing when you file a 1040? What is that?
Gosh, I don't know. I have all these things ringing around in my head. What is it? What are you claiming?
Well, are you paying a tax or a type of tax? Because the IRS calls it a type of tax. Look, we can go back to the whole discussion of when you file with the IRS, what is the IRS? Is it an agency of the federal government?
No.
Okay, then what is it?
That's a good question.
So, all right, let's do this a little bit more, because I'm sure most of the nudniks that listen to your show will be telling you how wrong I am, or I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh, I wish that would happen.
Do you have a 1040 form in front of you, or pull one up in a PDF?
Okay.
Pull one up on the screen right now in a PDF. Do you have any tax documents? Do you have any letters from the IRS?
Hold on.
Have you ever gotten a letter from the IRS?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So do you have a copy of it?
Not near me, no.
Well, I challenge you to find the words United States anywhere on that document.
No.
I challenge you to find the words United States on the 1040.
Well, no, you'll just find U.S. You won't find United States.
So what is that? U.S. Yeah, find me the words United States. Find me the word United States in any instruction form from the IRS, for any form. You think you can find it?
No. You won't find it.
Why is that? Don't you find that a little strange?
Of course.
That nowhere on there does it say the words United States or USA.
Aren't they based in like Puerto Rico or somewhere weird?
It's a Puerto Rican trust.
Yeah, it's Puerto Rican trust. America is a trust. United States is a trust. And that gets and that gets into trust law, which gets really complicated.
All right, what county do you live in?
Los Angeles County.
Do you live in the county of Los Angeles or Los Angeles County?
Well, yeah.
Because I think you live in the county of Los Angeles.
Yes, county of Los Angeles. Of is important.
Right. And if you look 100 years ago, you'll see that it wasn't called the county of Los Angeles. It was called Los Angeles County.
Just like United States District Court versus the District Court of the United States. Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, so what's the difference? So the difference is the county of Los Angeles is an incorporation. Los Angeles County is the original county, which is still there, by the way. Hasn't gone away.
Right.
But you don't live or pay taxes to the county, to the Los Angeles County.
Right.
You pay and live and have taxes to the county of Los Angeles, which is an incorporation.
Yes.
And by that fact, since it's a corporation and it's operating under the corporation laws, they are really the United States. So when you think you're in California or you're in Los Angeles County or whatever it is, you're really in just a subdivision of the United States, of the corporate United States, not the sovereign United States.
In 1945, there was the Administrative Procedure Act that happened. It admitted the estates of the American nationals are the priority creations of the United States of America Incorporated, and provides that the American nationals are enabled to bring administrative claims against the United States Incorporation. And it says here, this is why we have two court systems, the District Court of the United States and the U.S. District Court. So it's an administrative process.
That's right. Run by what you call the magistrate, what I call a park ranger.
Yeah.
It's a sham. It's all an illusion.
It definitely is.
So if you think that you're walking into a court, that you have rights, because you're walking into a United States court, that smiling judge up there, he knows what he's running. He also knows that you really don't have rights.
Here's a kicker. In 1972, there's still major landmark lawsuits that happen. But in 1972, Milozewski versus Sears and Roebuck, and there was a quote from that lawsuit, from that proceeding. We have two governments in America, one under the Constitution and a much greater one that is not under the Constitution. In short, the applicability of our Bill of Rights is in one of the crucial facts of American life today. In fact, American nationals are owed the Bill of Rights. U.S. citizens are not owed the Bill of Rights.
Well, that's why I ask you, are you a United States citizen? Because if you are a 14th Amendment United States citizen, then you have no rights.
I'm going to try to merge a call. I hope it doesn't disconnect everyone. Oh, are you here?
Well, Brian has become comatose, so I'm not even sure he's still alive. Can we get can we get some proof that he's alive?
Check 1 2.
I am here. Who are you trying to call somebody?
I think it's important to know that there are two different governments in America. People don't know that. They don't know that the Bill of Rights are for some people, but not all. They would be amazed.
Well, if you're a 14th Amendment citizen, you have no rights. You have privileges and immunities. It's written right in the 14th Amendment.
Right.
Read the 14th Amendment. Read what it says. The word rights are not in the 14th Amendment.
All right. Brian, are you there? Brian.
He's comatose.
He's comatose.
Comatose. I'm just listening. I'm listening.
We've lulled him to sleep.
Oh, probably bored into tears. He's probably got some kind of porn on the screen right now.
I was in a restroom break, and I was talking to somebody in Discord.
Wait a minute. Did you mute the thing, or did you just walk away from your microphone and start excreting? Hello.
Hello there.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Are you enjoying this lesson?
No, please don't. No, Jimmy. Is that Jimmy Lethal? Joe, is that Jimmy Lethal?
Yes.
You're on, dude. You're on. Do not. Okay, dude.
What happened? It's not Jimmy Lethal. It's
Brian's
Darren.
having a heart attack.
I
What's
know.
going on with Brian?
I don't know. It's Darren. Why? What's
Oh,
wrong?
I'm sorry. I thought it was Jimmy Lethal. I was getting nervous because Jimmy Lethal says specific words that are not allowed to be spoken on the internet.
Oh, he doesn't do that anymore.
Wait. Okay. Hold on. Let Darren speak, please.
So today they turned it down in Article 3. What's that mean?
That means that that's a constitutional court. I noticed
Yes.
that as well.
Yes, it's a high
Yeah,
court.
They sat as a constitutional court.
And there was no standing. Do you agree with that?
That means that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't.
Well, all I saw was a one-page reply. I didn't see the logic of the thinking or why there's no standing. Did any of you?
I
No.
did.
I haven't looked into it, but what did you see?
Well, they had one page. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't explain to you why they don't have standing.
No. Nope.
The game continues.
As far as I can tell, they've never been able to put anything forward that has any evidence in it whatsoever. I don't know what's going on. Have you seen the executive order on elections, Howard?
I'm aware of it, but I don't know that I've seen it.
Oh my God, you got to read every detail of that thing. It's crazy. So before the 18th, basically, they have to come out with a report whether this election was fraudulent or not. I put it in the
I'm
chat.
sure some of the
Look it up and read it.
I'm sure some of the election.
Yeah, go on.
I'm sure some election was fraudulent, but not all of it.
I think all of it was.
It wasn't widespread. It was just a few cities and counties.
Mm.
Well, I'm sure fraud goes on all the time, but these people didn't think that anybody was going to look behind the curtain.
No, there's a lot of fraud. There's hundreds of thousands.
And you're not dealing with smart people here. These are not intelligent.
They're going to get caught. I don't care if Biden gets in there. They're still going to get caught. They're all going to get caught. Read that executive order. You got to read it. You're going to love it, Howard. Can you pull it up and read it?
What's the result of that executive order? I'm missing something here.
So if there's any money coming in from outside the country to help affect the election, or if there's any outside influence, basically they can prosecute everybody. And they have been doing
so was Facebook included in that?
Possibly and probably, yes. They're going down. If they added money to try to sway the election, they're going down. They're all going to get in trouble.
Well, you say they're going down, but I'll believe it. See it.
Well, yesterday, 48 states voted to split them up, but that is separate than the owner getting in trouble, Zuckerberg, because he donated like $250 million to each one of these cities. And there's something called, he insisted on, called clawback. Basically, he insisted on getting something for his money.
Account? Do you have a Facebook account?
Yeah, but not for much longer. The only reason I keep it is because I like to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
What do you sell?
Bikes.
What kind of bikes?
Bikes he
Motorbikes?
steals from the bums.
No, I buy old Schwinns and I fix them up and then sell them. So I buy them in Salem and then I sell them in Portland.
Quite a racket.
Schwinn.
That is great.
You're not a bicycle seat sniffer, are you?
What the hell?
Hello? Is there anyone there? Hello? Hello? Well, I can't hear anyone at the moment. Everything seems to have gone dark.
You have no rights. You have privileges and immunities.
Right.
Do I have the right to die?
Well, no, you don't even have the
No.
right to die. You can't take your own life. That's against the law. If you don't succeed, they arrest you, don't they?
Yeah, you better be good at it.
Oh my God.
Right. If you fuck up killing yourself, then you get arrested.
Hell to pay.
Or you get put in a mental hospital.
This executive order, you have to read it, Howard. I put it in the chat. Did you look it up or click on it?
I'm cooking a steak. Didn't you hear?
The $5 steak, I heard.
It's really $10. It's a $10 steak, but it tastes a lot better. Look, you're not a Jew. You wouldn't understand, but a $10 steak tastes really good. But a $10 steak for $5 tastes even better.
True.
So basically, the Treasury Department was put in charge of a lot of this election. Which
let me ask you this question. Hold on. Which Treasury Department?
I don't know. I'd have to reread the thing, and I don't have it on my phone right now because I'm talking to you.
Well, is it the United States Treasury or is it the Department of Treasury?
I don't know. I think it's the Department of Treasury. Could you pull it up, JP?
That's an important question, and I'm going to tell you why. That's an important question. I'm going to tell you why. So, does anybody have any document from the IRS?
I just posted one. I have one posted right now, I think, a 1040 form.
Okay. So tell me, not the 1040. I'm talking about a letter from the IRS.
Oh, a letter. Oh.
You ever see a letter from the IRS? Let me tell you what it says. It says Internal Revenue Service, Department of the Treasury. And it doesn't have a seal. It has a logo, a drawing of the IRS logo. There's no seal. Did you ever see a letter from a government agency that doesn't have a seal? I never have.
No.
They usually have seals. They usually have two.
Every government agency has a seal. How come that the IRS is the only government agency, and I say that in air quotes, that doesn't have a seal? So when you see on a letter from the IRS where it will say Internal Revenue Service, Department of the Treasury, I ask one question. Whose Treasury? Because nothing on that letter signifies that it's the United States Treasury.
It probably goes to one dude who's got like $100 trillion, for all we know.
But everybody assumes when they say Department of the Treasury that they're referring to the United States Department of the Treasury. But if I take you to Title 31, which is finance and banking, and I take you to the Treasury Department, and you go look in Title 31, where you can see every agency that makes up the Treasury. You won't find the IRS in that list.
So is it a world government collected fund or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say anything of the sort. I'm just saying that the IRS is not an agency of the United States government. If it was, you'd be able to find it in Title 31.
That's interesting. Today I was looking at a video of a guy that got a ticket over in Britain for not wearing a mask. And he looked up the company that sent him the ticket. And it was like a 5-person company. It was all
they're private companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're private companies.
Yeah.
Yep.
The cops were making the money.
Of course.
No.
But this is the way everything is done in Britain. You've got all these private services, these bailiff companies, when they come out and they try to take your property or to come into your house and take your property, they don't have a proper search warrant. They don't have anything signed by a judge. They walk in and they show you a piece of paper that was printed out by a computer. You can find video after video in Britain about that.
Well, I found it interesting that they had the Treasury Department trying to secure the election, which made me think of money, which made me think of them securing the ballots. And then I looked up a bunch of stuff about new patents for the Postal Service and blockchains and stuff. And then there was some stuff from Q and like the conspiracy people that said that they put secret watermarks on all the ballots. It makes sense to me that he would do something like that. They said in 8 states, mostly the swing states, that they can prove which ballots are real and which are not. What do you think of that, Howard?
I think that makes perfect sense. However, you didn't answer so go look at that thing where you say that the Treasury was put in charge, and tell me, does it say the United States Treasury or the Treasury of the United States? What's it say?
Well, I guess I'll try to figure it out since I've got a phone here.
What form is it that you want me to pull up?
I posted that. I was hoping you'd help me out, but
I can now.
I'll look it up.
Wait, what? Just let me know. I'll look it up and pull it up.
In your chat.
Oh, it is. Let's see.
So the question is it the Treasury of the United States Treasury, or does it just say the Treasury?
Let's look it up. Hold on.
I don't see where you posted it in the chat. So.
All right. Let me get my glasses. Hold on, guys. This is going to work.
By the way, I heard from Angela this morning. She wanted to know if I was all right.
If you were all right, Brian.
Is there some concern about my health?
No.
Oh, you eat a lot of meat.
How do you know I eat a lot of meat?
You just said you did. You have a whole fridge of meat.
Okay.
Don't take this as an offense, Howard, but I'm going to live long enough to piss on your grave. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
All right.
Jordan Peterson ate nothing but meat for 2 years. In fact, I think he's still eating nothing but meat.
Brian, why did you fall asleep?
You guys want me to read this off, or do you want me to
Yes.
just go to the part?
Just read it off. I can't fucking find this thing. Let's go. Read it.
I'm going to go down a little bit. Section 1. No later than 45 days after the conclusion of the United States election, the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the heads of any other appropriate executive departments and agencies, shall conduct an assessment of any information indicating that a foreign government or any person acting as an agent or on behalf of a foreign government has acted with the intent or purpose of interfering in that election. The assessment shall identify to the maximum extent ascertainable the nature of any foreign interference and methods employed to execute it. The persons involved in the foreign government or governments that authorized, directed, sponsored, or supported it. And this is really long. Within 40 days of, I'm going to skip down here. Within 45 days of receiving the assessment of information described in 1A of this order, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security, in consultation with the heads of other appropriate agencies and as appropriate state and local officials, shall deliver to the President, the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of Treasury, and the Secretary of Defense a report evaluating with respect to the United States election that is the subject of the assessment described in Section 1A. And it goes on and on and on with all this detail. Let me try to get to the part about the Treasury here. Did you find it, JP?
No, I don't know where you sent it. No.
I didn't hear
I'm
the
looking
word
at something else.
Treasury. I heard the words Treasury.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
I have
So
four
is that
different
the
chat
same
rooms.
treasury? Hold on. Is that the same treasury that the Internal Revenue Service is of?
Let's see. Sorry, guys, this is boring, but I'm reading. There's so much here. It's really detailed. I posted it in your chat.
What
Did you not
chat?
get
I have 10 chat boards open.
it? YouTube.
I don't see it. I don't see it here. There's like, I see a lot of chats, but I don't see any links.
All right, let me put it in the. Let me put it in Skype.
All right.
If I can. I'd really like Howard to read it. Okay, good.
Howard will read it after he finishes cooking his steak. This
There
is
you
such
go.
a tender piece
Okay.
of.
Okay, I
This
see
is
it.
like
There it is.
this.
You guys
This
see it?
steak is
Yeah, I
like
got
a,
it. I
it's
got
like a soft.
Why was Yibe Tyler Black? By the way, I posted something in Discord. I don't know if we want to talk about it now, but it's something of an importance of a show later. I posted it on our main chat in Discord, and I think it's a topic that's been around for years, but it has not really been talked about that much. But I posted it.
Why was he banned? Because he was spamming the room with he was just being flagrant. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Come on. Okay, so what about this do you want me to read? I'm not sure. It's
it's there's a lot of stuff there for a bubbling idiot president, isn't there?
well,
And
yeah.
all of this has been run by the courts, by the way. In order to put out an executive order, you have to have it approved. So
Yeah. Again, I'm going to ask you, which court?
well, let's go to the very top of the thing here. Let's see.
Well, Article 3 court or an Article 2 court?
By authority vested in me as president of the Constitution, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, whatever that is, the National Emergencies Act, and then there's a number.
Okay, so there you go. Stop right there. Wait a minute. Stop right there. The National Emergencies Act. So anytime you hear the word national emergency, you may assume that you're not dealing with a constitutional America, because the Constitution's been suspended.
So is Trump the bad guy?
No. But I don't know that Trump fully knows what environment he's in.
Well, Trump is the CEO. He's acting on behalf of his board. So his boardroom is obviously pushing all of this up. He's able to convey it because he's a good orator, and he's actually, as far as presidents go, he's pretty entertaining. So if anybody can pull it off.
Section 212 of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, and Section 301 of Title III in the United States Code.
By the way, what year was a national emergency treated as if it were if we were at war? When did that happen?
March 6th of 1933.
Bingo. Wow, nice.
That was when the Act of 1917, which is the Trading with the Enemy Act, was amended to no longer exclude citizens of the United States.
Why did it happen?
Why did what happen?
Why was the national emergency placed? Because the United States of America,
so suspend the Constitution.
Yeah, but the United States of America Incorporated was bankrupt.
Yes, it went bankrupt. It's all in bankruptcy. What does the first page of any section of the law, Title 31, Title Title 26, doesn't matter. What does it say? It says reorganization plan. It's a bankruptcy term.
This is
The
interesting.
United States is bankrupt.
All
The
property.
United States is bankrupt.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
all
is.
property law.
All property and interests in property that are in the United States that herefore come within the United States or that are hereafter come within the possession or control of any United States person of the following persons are blocked.
Yeah, stop right there. Wait. Stop. What is a United States person?
Tell me.
A corporation.
Well,
No,
you
no,
have
my
to.
question
All right, listen to me. You have to parse every single thing there. Every act that's mentioned, you have to read. You have to see what it says, because if it mentions it and relies on it, then you don't know what's said. So you only know a small portion of what you're reading. You don't know what's written in any of these other acts.
I'm asking you to go ahead and tell me to stop and then explain it to me.
Well, I'm telling you that a United States person is not a citizen.
Okay.
Or a U.S. person. Well, wait a minute. What did they say? A U.S. person or a United States person?
Come with the possession or control of any United States person of the following person.
So a person is a corporation.
Oh,
That's referring to a corporation right there.
wow.
Yes.
Okay. Are blocked and may be transferred, paid, exported, withdrawn, or otherwise dealt in any foreign person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury in consultation with Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Okay. So
This is almost
you know what all
echoing.
that.
This almost echoes what happened in 1933 in a way. It's crazy.
I can't believe this, Lord. It's crazy.
I mean, this shows the significant changes that we're going through right now. These are major deals.
This has to be out by the
I sent you a private chat. And I don't want to put it on the show, but I would like you to look at it. That's all.
Okay.
What the hell is he talking about?
On Discord or where?
It says private chat. Private chat.
Oh, on StreamYard. Yeah. Okay, got it. Give me a second here. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know where we left off, but we're getting so
it's so
deep.
long, it's impossible to figure out.
Is that a link? Yeah. I'll just say that Howard was right.
Just gave us
This is interesting.
Darren just gave out the clue. It's impossible to figure out. It's written in such a way that most people can't figure it out.
No way.
If you don't realize that so they talk about a United States person. I mean, is that you? Is anybody a United States person?
It does give the definition of it.
Okay, what is a United States person?
The term person means an individual or an entity. The term entity means a partnership, association,
corporation,
trust, joint venture, cooperation, group, subgroup, or other organization.
A corporation.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you an entity? Wait a minute. Are you an entity or a live man?
I like to say I'm a live man.
Well, I would say that you're not, based on the fact that you got a driver's license.
Well, look, you and I are talking. You're breathing air. You are a living man, but the state does not recognize you as such, not even close.
Well, it's not the fact that the state doesn't recognize you as such. It's the fact that you respond to being a corporation.
So my identity.
Yes.
That was my example. When I said I come back into America, I cross out United States citizen and I put Pennsylvania citizen. And
Okay, what about this, Howard? Section 11. The Secretary of the Treasury, in consultation with the Attorney General and the Secretary of State, is hereby authorized to take such actions, including the promulgation of rules and regulations to employ all powers granted to the President by IEEPA as may be necessary to carry out the purposes of this order. The Secretary of Treasury may redelegate any of these functions to the officers within the Department of Treasury consistent with applicable law. All agencies of the United States government are hereby directed to take all appropriate measures with their authority to carry out the provisions of this order.
And what always
again, why is it referring to the Treasury? Why does it say Treasury and not the United States Treasury? Why does it say the United States this, but the Treasury is the Treasury? And no further. Who is that?
We should look it up because that's what they keep talking about. Probably the one that will come out with the order, I suppose.
And I would say you better know who you're talking to, because the Treasury and the Treasury of the United States or United States Treasury are not the same thing. It's all smoke and mirrors. What I'm trying to explain to you is this through the words, and words mean things, especially in courts. It's all smoke and mirrors. You're all being fooled into thinking that you have rights, that something's going to happen.
And what usually, and what has happened in the past, especially when an emergency act is passed, what will follow is a sort of emergency banking act, which will probably change the whole banking system and may even be a push towards crypto or away from our current money system. I mean, just maybe, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. But
Howard, listen to this. The term person means an individual or an entity. And then right after that, the term entity means a partnership, association, trust, joint venture, corporation, group, subgroup, or other organization.
Yes.
Right.
We went through that. I mean, that's a person is a corporation, essentially. Our corporations have the same rights as you or me in a person sense. You and I as a person are no different from a corporation. You and I as living men are different, very different.
The term United States person means any United States citizen, permanent resident alien entity organized under the laws of the United States or jurisdiction within the United States, including foreign branches, or any person, including a foreign person, in the United States. Including a foreign person.
Substitute the corporation for person.
Yeah.
Read that again and say the word corporation where you see the word person.
The term United States corporation means any United States citizen, permanent, resident, alien, entity organized under the laws of the United States or any jurisdiction within the United States, including foreign branches, or any corporation, including a foreign corporation in the United States.
Okay, and there it's getting into jurisdiction, which is a whole nother conversation. Where is your jurisdiction? And that's, yeah.
That would sound like Facebook.
Well, where'd the money come from? Where'd Facebook get the money? Is China involved? Because I think China's involved with everything.
I do too. You know that the Democrats last summer fought tooth and nail to get the Chinese part of this taken out. And the Republicans wouldn't bend. They said, no, China's just the same thing as Russia or the Ukraine or Iran. And they ended up leaving it in there. Probably a good thing, huh?
I don't know. Depends how it's written.
Yeah.
You have to read everything. You can't just go by the paper you're reading. You have to read all the acts that are referenced.
Yeah. It'd take forever to go through all this thing.
And that's done on purpose.
Well, I'm sure that when it gets to the House and the Senate, they probably don't go through all this shit either. They can't be much smarter than you are.
Well, you'd be surprised what they read.
Are you saying that they know more than we do?
Some of them do.
Probably the lawyers and stuff. I think Nancy Pelosi does. I don't know.
I don't think a lot of these people know really how things are run.
Do you think Schiff is compromised?
Of course. Well, you just found out that Eric Swalwell is compromised.
Absolutely.
I thought he was married.
The Russians
He's still fucking the Chinese girl.
Chinese spy. Ridiculous. I wonder how much information
and
she got off of him.
Right, and didn't Dianne Feinstein have a Chinese spy chauffeur for 20 years?
Absolutely, and her husband owns part of Dominion too.
Okay.
And all of a sudden now she needs to step down because her mental capacity in the last week has gone down. So she needs to step down.
Who gave the Chinese the ability to launch things into space?
I don't know, but they sure love space. Yesterday when we did our launch, they had it live all over the country. And that was our launch.
But you didn't answer my question. Who gave the Chinese the technology to start launching things into space?
Don't ask me that question. Oh, America?
You look up the word Loral, Loral, Clinton, and space technology. Tell me what you get back.
Just tell me, Howard. I don't know.
Bill Clinton allowed Loral, his friend, to sell technology into China that allowed the Chinese to obtain the technology necessary to launch things into space. Now they're threatening us.
Yeah.
Now they're threatening us with the technology we gave them. Who gave the Chinese the technology for the Wuhan lab?
Fauci.
Well, I don't know if Fauci did it, but the government, we paid for it.
We did. We sure did. Well, we paid for a lot of it, $4.5 million.
That's a good statement. Fuck me.
You know what I found was interesting is a story that came out that they pretty much, it was out for like 2 days and disappeared. Is when the virus first came on the scene, they reported that the entire place basically emptied. You know, there were no more cars at that point. Nobody was coming into the lab at all. And that was before it even got out. And that was like a story, and then it just disappeared.
That's because the government controls what news stories are able to get out.
Absolutely.
So to be clear, in 1868, the 14th Amendment, Section 1, states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. So you have two different citizenships.
I'm sorry, are you domiciled in California, or do you reside in California?
I am domiciled in California.
Not according to the government.
You're right. If I have to
He can't
file,
just tell you. He
I
has
have to file
ask
for
you to
that.
make you look like a dumbass.
I have to change my citizenship. I have to change my status to make if I want that. But that's what I am. That is what I want to change my status to. It's not easy. I mean, this stuff is not the language I grew up learning. So for me, it's all a learning curve. It's crazy.
What's the best book to learn all this crazy legal stuff?
There are
Where's your
people.
best book?
There are people out there that teach it.
Any good books?
There's no best book. It's all a sham. You've been had.
And we've all
You've been had.
No, I've known about this for 30-some years.
Still been had.
You've been had, you've been took, you've been bamboozled, been lied to.
They lied to you. You've been bamboozled.
Well, why do you think I live where I live?
Trannies.
And $5 steaks.
Yeah, fine. Jeez. I want a $10 steak too. I wonder how long. You know, when my dad was in Germany, his dollar went really far, and then Nixon took us off the gold standard, and and the Deutschmark to the dollar, didn't fare so well. So I wanted to go back to the United States.
All right, Brian, should we wrap this thing up here?
Oh, hold on a second. Brian, what's the best steak you've ever eaten at any restaurant ever?
He's thinking really hard on this.
Yep.
Mastro's. But I like the steak I cook myself. I put a load of butter in it and pepper, and I enjoy it.
Did you use a whole stick of butter?
No, I don't go that far.
Oh,
that's Tango in Paris.
Yeah.
I don't do. And I wrote some. I put something from an article here. It doesn't finish all the way, but I thought maybe it should be added there. I probably shouldn't even have that up there. It's all horrible. Sorry.
All right.
All right, guys.
I think if we go point by point, and I'm making a timeline, and I want to go through each point because you need to know, like Howard was saying, you need to know basically every corner. You need to stop and think and understand what it's referring to.
Well, there was a lawyer that tried to dissect this.
Well, there's lots
and they
of
were
them.
saying that we are right now in a state of emergency, and we have been since this executive order came out.
Mm.
But you guys are saying we've been in a state of emergency since 1936.
March the 6th of 1933.
Nothing changed.
33.
You know, in 36, I hear we were pulling out of the Depression, and then in 1937, it came again. I could be wrong on that.
I didn't realize that Dwight D. Eisenhower had over 3,500 executive orders. That's crazy. We thought Trump had a lot.
No, Trump does not have a, well, I don't know. Declaring an emergency?
No, just executive orders in general. They're quite fast.
Nothing is what you think it is. You think the country that you live in is a country that has constitutional rights. I'll tell you that they don't. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you the Senate report from 1973 that says exactly that.
Well, it sure is fun to sit and watch Netflix at home and think that we're safe and free.
How about the order that every new president signs that admits that all persons
All right, folks, we are now okay. You went dead for just a few seconds there, Joe. So why don't we end it because and I could be wrong, but your audio seems to be going out.
Mine does again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's end it because I'm having all kinds of problems here. Let's close it.
All right, guys. Hey, like and subscribe and leave comments down below.
And reboot all your.
Shut up.
Why don't any of you reboot all your devices before you start one of these things?
Fucking live chats. They will not. That is the biggest bullshit.
Yeah.
Can we please? All right, let's end the show now. I don't want to.
All right. Good night. Thanks, Howard. All right. Let's get out of here. Close this thing up.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Go to the website, transparencyandmerit.com. Do you know Darren? Are you here? Oh, did I hang up on him too? Shit. I had a question for Darren. Do you know what when you say like .com? Do you know what the com means?
No.
Commerce.
Did you read my? I never knew that. Did you read my article? Did you read what I put here?
Oh no. I'm out of the StreamYard, I think. Oh no, wait, no. Am I?
I just put it up here. Are you still on the page here?
Yeah, I am.
Jerry Butler's book, Raw Talent. It was Lois Aries that he mentioned while going down on her. It was like an exploring an unclean bird cage with your tongue.
Fancy.
And he said he said he got freaked out because he got some white stuff on his tongue and he couldn't get hard on it afterwards.
Oh my God. All right. Did you end it? Let's end this thing.
Oh shit! God damn it! I thought you ended it.
You did.